Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This is a guy, he is a relationship guy, and he was curious, writing in, if I could help him understand where one would draw the line between checking your girl about concerns and worries and not. You see, he's been a guy who obviously has been watching the channel for a while, and like many of you, has heard countless stories about red flags, horror stories about things that go wrong in relationships, and he's reached a point that he's gotten so paranoid that anything his girl does, he's immediately thinking the worst. And one can understand that given all these stories, as well as life experience. So that'd be a good one to go over here. It's not too long, and really break down what I think he, as well as a lot of guys in this situation, how they should go about things. Because I know that contrary to what you guys want to think, I got a lot of relationship guys who watch this channel. You know, guys that are dating or in committed relationships, and certainly a lot of married guys out there. So I think that's a good one to go over here. It's not too long. And by the way, it turns out this guy wrote me this email at least a year and a half ago. And I had printed out his story, and it got somehow lost in the shuffle, and I found it out when I was going through some paperwork yesterday. So I tell you guys I'll get to your story. Well, here we are a year and a half later, so there you go. He says here, Dear SSM, I hope you're doing well during this never-ending pandemic. See, I told you this is like more than a year and a half ago. I wanted to know, where should you draw the line with your concerns and worries about your partner when dating? I've had many relationships in the past where the girls would say that I'm too paranoid and I shouldn't compare their behavior to my exes. Well, you should, and be aware of these things, guys. After finding your channel, I've been much more alert. However, anything my girlfriend does that seems innocent turns into a red flag to me. An example would be her texting a male coworker about work-related issues. She shows me her texts, but that doesn't change my skepticism of her. I'm too paranoid because I just can't let myself be heartbroken again. All in all, what is a good balance of attentiveness when it comes to dating? Thanks so much for what you do, as you've helped me out there ever since with the lessons that you preach. Cheers. So like I said, guys, he's making a very good point. You know, you watch these shows that I do and a lot of other channels do, you hear these stories to protect yourself, but certainly one could get to the point that they're paranoid about everything. Like literally, like you could be married and your wife's on the couch texting her mother, arranging her to be a babysitter of your kids when you guys go out to dinner, and you're automatically thinking that, ooh, she's texting some other guy. Or if it says mom on her text exchange, that's just a code name for another guy. Or you're walking down through the neighborhood, walking the dog with your wife, and she smiles and says hello to the neighbor, and you're automatically thinking that she's sucking his dick. So you get to the point, you got to find a balance here. Have this knowledge, be mindful, but don't make you lose your mind. So I'm going to give a few pieces of wisdom here where I think you should go through. 5 different things that you should do. Number 1, in my opinion, remember all the principles that you've learned on this channel and apply them. So whether you're starting off in dating, relationships, and marriage. So the principles of, obviously not putting her on the pedestal, not kissing her butt, checking her when she's becoming difficult or rude. Those type of things, you stick to your principles. You are aware of the red flags, but you're not immediately losing your freaking mind over finding that balance, and that will take time. You never forget the principles. It's just like anything, in anything you're trying to master, get better at, it's always about the fundamentals, and you keep those things in mind. Next thing, establish your boundaries in the relationship or dating. Boundaries like, okay, we've been dating a while. She wants you to become her boyfriend, because you should always let her do the pursuing and trying to form the relationship. If your boundary is, okay, I don't want you hanging out with other guys or texting with other guys, you need to enforce those boundaries from the beginning. Make her aware of those boundaries, okay? And she may not like that, and then she can choose that either she's going to respect your boundaries for the relationships, that's what you want, those are your deal breakers, or she doesn't. That way there's no confusion there. Or, I don't want you on social media. Okay, that's a condition for us to be in a relationship. She either accepts it or she doesn't. You establish all your boundaries. There's no confusion. Okay. Next thing I do is you need to trust but verify. The old Ronald Reagan thing. Okay, we're in a relationship. I'm sticking to all the fundamentals and principles I've learned, and I've laid out my boundaries. I'm going to trust you. Okay, fair enough. It's as much as I can do because I can't watch you 24/7. But I'm going to verify on occasion. On occasion, I'm going to check. Because believe me, the gals check. That's the only thing you can do to make yourself go fucking crazy. Another thing here is if the boundaries are crossed, you walk. I've said it countless times, guys, that you have to be able to have the ability to walk away from your girl. Women will never respect a weak guy. And women, even the best ones, are going to test. They're going to throw fucking shit tests out there to see if you're strong, if you're losing your strength, and you have to be willing to check them. But if they cross the boundaries too far, and I mean on the extreme cases like cheating or lying or going against the boundaries you establish, you must be prepared to walk. And life is short, guys, and if you don't establish boundaries, if you aren't prepared to walk from people that do you wrong, whatever that may be, you're only inviting more of that bullshit in the future. And you guys are older and know this. So be prepared to walk. A lot of guys just simply don't have the strength to do that. But as you work on yourself and become the best you can be, you'll develop more self-respect, and then you won't keep people in your life that disrespect you, bullshit and all that, and you'll walk when your boundaries are crossed. You must be prepared to walk. And last but not least, number 5, never forget rule number 1. And rule number 1 is remember the principles and apply them. Again, everything you've learned from my channel and other great channels that are out there, everything you learn from your own personal experiences, from your bros, what you've learned from their mistakes, etc., and apply them. Checking the girl, taking your time, not putting her on the pedestal, all these things. And do remember, you can't watch her 24/7, but you got to find the balance, and you will. Because like I said, otherwise you're going to spend all your time going fucking crazy, thinking that she's texting somebody, immediately she's cheating on you, and that's not always the case, believe me there. But you'll find that in your own time. And if still you reach the point that you just cannot do that, then you might as well be single. That's all I really have to say. So that's the best advice I can give. Because again, I can see you hear enough of this content, you're going to assume the worst every freaking time. That's understandable. The idea is that for the relationship guys, okay, the guys that want to do relationships regardless, and that's your business, or even go so far as to get married, you learn all this knowledge. You are armed and dangerous, if you will, with this wisdom, with this knowledge, and you can apply it to protect yourself and have a better life and better marriage and better family and all that, being the best man you can be. But if it cuts to the point that you're so paranoid of everything, well, then that's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate side effect of what can happen when you have this type of knowledge. So, guys, try to figure out your balance and you're going to be okay. And with trial and error, you'll get there. So, all right, guys, it's a quick one, like I said, but I thought it'd be a good one to respond to here. Be sure to comment down below then what you think about this. And also, guys, if you got a question you got to ask me, even if it's a quick one, because this is a quick email here, send it my way. strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I will. Like I said, this poor guy here, he wrote me over a year and a half ago. I think this was the fall of 2021. And I put it aside, and I think it just got shuffled with my paperwork, because I'm now getting ready for my move. So I'm already starting to get rid of things and pack things up, and I found this here. So, but send it to me, and I'll get to it when I can. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.